Hey guys, welcome back to the Curly Reader. My name's Amanda, and today we're going to be doing my November plan with me. So this month I obviously went with a little bit of a paper airplane theme, and to make things really simple, I decided to just use 5 different colors of different fine liners, and that's about it. That's what I used for all of the paper airplanes and just kind of the dashes that in their tail wind, and then I used my micron plastic nib for the lettering, and that's it for supplies this month. It's really simplistic, but I really like the way that it turned out, and I hope that you enjoy watching me create it. So here I'm just working on my title page, a bunch of different airplanes with the title at the bottom. And then once I finish with this, I will move over to my to-do page. This is where I list out different events I'm planning on participating in, books that I'm definitely going to be reading, read-alongs, buddy reads, all of those sorts of things get listed out on this page. All right, and then we are moving on to my Historiathon and Nonfiction November pages. If you are unaware of what these two things are, these are 2 different readathons that are taking place in the month of November, and these are the 2 that I'm planning on participating in. Historiathon is hosted by myself as well as Lindsay from Lindsay's Little Library, and Nonfiction November is hosted by a Book Olive as well as a few other booktubers. Historiathon focuses on historical fiction, and Nonfiction November obviously focuses on nonfiction. And so I decided just to create these 2 very simple pages just to list out the different prompts for each of the readathons and to check off as I complete them and have a spot to write down which books I read that fill each of the prompts. All right, and then we're moving over to my posting schedule. This is where I just create a calendar for the month. I don't label anything on it other than the date of each square because I know what it is. It's my November calendar, and I always start it with Sunday, so I don't feel the need to label it because it's just for my use. But this is where I will write down each time I post a video. I write it on the calendar. That way I can look back and just see how I'm doing, which videos I'm posting each month, and just kind of have a place to be able to go to look for either what videos I had posted in the past to get ideas for future videos, or to just kind of see my posting habits. I find it really helpful. And so that is what I do on these pages. All right, and then next up is my growing TBR page. This is where I list out all the books that I'm adding to my Goodreads TBR each month, and then I also list out who recommends the book to me, where I get the recommendation from, and I do a video on all of these also each month. And so if you're interested in that, you can go to my growing TBR playlist on my channel and see those videos, but this is where I list those out. All right, and then we're moving over to my reading log. This is where I keep track of all the books I read each month and list them out. I also keep track of some of the stats that I like to track each month. So I track my rating, whether or not I listen to the book via audiobook or read it with my eyeballs. And then I also track whether I own the book or whether it's borrowed, and then the age range of the book, so whether that be middle grade, young adult, adult. And then I also like to track if it's a graphic novel or not. So those are the different things I track. Also this month, I did something a little bit different with the columns. Typically, I will color in every other column just to make it a little bit easier to track down the page as I'm logging things. And since I was using fine liners this month and it's hard to color in a large space with a fine liner, I decided to just alternate the colors of the lines going down the columns. That way I could still track it down the page easily without having to color in a large space. So that seemed to be a pretty effective way to do that. All right, and then the last thing I need to do is add a little doodle here on my annual title page. Every month I do this just to kind of keep track of the different themes I'm using each month. And so I decided to freehand in here a few little paper airplane doodles. All right, and here's the final flip through. Really, really simple, but effective, and I really like how clean it looks. All right, so that's going to do it for today. I hope that you enjoyed this. I hope that you stick around and subscribe, and until next time, see ya!